Welcome back to my channel. If you're new,
What's up?
I'm Elliot and I'm a 17-year-old that makes videos. So it's exam season and I'm swamped and I need a break from studying or else I'm gonna crash out and go insane and crash out once again. So I thought I would tell you guys a funny little story about something I used to do back in 5th grade. And I don't know if this is like a shared experience or if this is just me, but I thought it was really funny. I'm trying to figure out what to call you guys because I don't know what to call you guys. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. I try to read almost all of my comments and I really appreciate it when you guys comment because I like talking to you. Now that the intro is out of the way, let's get to my funny little 5th grade story.
What don't you like?
Swag. Okay, so back in 5th grade, I was friends with this person. Let's call them Afton. I was friends with this whole group of people. There was Afton, there was Daisy, and there were these other two guys, but they're not really a part of this story. And then there's like a bunch of other people that I'll mention as it goes on. But the main two people are Afton and Daisy. So me, Afton, and Daisy were kind of like a little trio. Like we were all really good friends. It had gotten even closer over the course of 5th grade because we had a terrible 5th grade experience. Our teacher left halfway through because our class was so bad that her mental health went into a spiral, and we had like a bunch of different substitutes. Like one of them stood up on a table and started yelling at us, then fell off said table. One of them would yell at us because at our school we had like these performances. Like, you know how elementary schools kind of have like little assemblies every month? Well, he was super into it for some reason and would like scream at us and be like,
You have to sing the superhero song. You have to sing it. You have to sing it. If you don't sing it, I'm calling home.
And he was kind of a freak, I'm not even gonna lie. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. Me, Afton, and Daisy were sitting at our little round table that we sat at. We sat at this round table and we put little cushions around it and we would sit there. We were all into drawing, we were all into creepypasta, we were all into gotcha, we were all into like Harry Potter, we were all into like that kind of stuff. One day, I was like, hey, do you guys know this game called Charlie Charlie? Because I had played Charlie Charlie a lot in 4th grade, and my neighbor, Gavin, name dropping, Gavin. My neighbor Gavin we played it in 4th grade, and he blew on the pencil, and our entire class was like surrounding this Charlie Charlie paper. And if you don't know what Charlie Charlie is, you basically grab a paper and you put yes, yes, no, no, and you bounce 2 pencils like that on top of it, and it like spins to yes or no, and you ask it yes or no questions, and it's supposedly Charlie Charlie. And so Gavin had blown on the pencil and our entire class went, what? Everybody was like running around and screaming and we got in big trouble. Anyways, back to 5th grade. So I was like, hey, do you guys know Charlie Charlie? And they were like,
Yes, oh my god, we do.
but I don't really know how to play it. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'll explain it. And they were like, oh yeah, sick, let's do that. We were not doing our work. We had completely abandoned the task and we were trying to set this up. Eventually it worked and we were just playing around, fooling around. And then Afton says,
Hey, Charlie, are you in these pencils?
And it turned to yes. I assume one of them blew on it, but being a dumb 5th grader, I thought it was real. I was like, oh my gosh, Charlie's in the pencils. Oh my goodness. And so Afton decides to break the pencils and was like,
Well, we have to release the spirit of Charlie Charlie.
get out! I am 10 years old. Let's not play with deadly spirit. Afton breaks these pencils and proceeds to get possessed by Charlie Charlie. It was recess at this point, and they were walking around like, me and Daisy were like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you acting like an absolute maniac? As soon as the bell rang, me and Daisy ran outside, ran the fuck away. Afton starts chasing us. Chases us up the hill, all around the field, and eventually me and Daisy find a good hiding spot. And we peek over, and guess who's attacking my neighbor? Afton tackling Gavin from before, who wasn't even in our class at this point. We were just at recess. Starts tackling him and like attacking him. And then when she's done with Gavin and Gavin's sitting there like, he goes after this guy named Patrick. Wait, I probably shouldn't name drop. She goes after this guy named, I'm gonna call him Glasses. Glasses is important to this story. So Afton goes after Glasses, right? Runs at him. Glasses is minding his own business, doesn't even realize this crazy ass kid running at him. And Afton tackles Glasses and starts like freaking, you know how like fifth graders fight? They're like that. And so as Afton is attacking Glasses and Glasses is on the ground like, what the frick? Afton breaks Glasses' glasses. Breaks them. He's like, you know how expensive glasses are. Like, normally a pair tends to be like $100, like sometimes at the least. So Afton breaks these glasses, and obviously Glasses is like, what the heck? This is my expensive glasses! And starts yelling at Afton, and then Afton suddenly comes out of their trance, and they're like, oh my god, that wasn't me, that was Charlie did that, that wasn't me. And so Glasses is obviously upset and crying on the floor, and Afton is trying to defend himself. They're like, no, I was possessed by Charlie. I was possessed. It wasn't me. And so Glasses goes over to Gavin and is like, look what freaking Afton did. Afton broke my glasses. And Gavin's like, yeah, what the frick, Afton? Why would you do that? And so they're having a little kerfuffle. Me and Daisy are still sitting there like, and so we're sitting over there kind of scared, honestly. We're like, oh no, are we gonna get in trouble for this too? Glasses and Gavin and Afton, they're all talking, and Glasses is obviously very upset. So now, fast forward like a week. Afton is still possessed by Charlie, but it comes and goes in waves, so they're only possessed at recess. And I swear, on my life, they would tackle me and Daisy and like straddle us and start like pressing on our chest. We are 10 years old. Get off of me. We're dealing with all of that. And eventually, Gavin comes up to me later and like, cause we're neighbors, he comes over to me and is like, I'm gonna start the 5th grade Endgame war thing because this is when Avengers Endgame is like just coming out. And so he's like, I'm gonna start this war and it's gonna be so bad. And we're gonna get all the girls. We're gonna get the girls. So I was like, cool, can I be a double agent? And he was like, yeah, I guess. Next day at recess, we're at a standoff basically. So there's like this gigantic group of guys, all guys, right here. And we're over here. And as you guys know, I'm a double agent, right? So when Gavin starts this war, right? He goes, Avengers Assemble! And then all of the guys come running at us. And they're like, Rah! And all of us start going, oh shit. And then they all run. And I go over to Gavin and I'm like, I'm gonna get La Poo Poo. Because I hated La Poo Poo. Everybody hated La Poo Poo. La Poo Poo actually sucked and was like this rude, mean, thought she was the best at literally everything. I hated La Poo Poo. And so eventually groups of guys go after each one of us, and I go with Gavin, and I run over to where La Poo Poo's hiding, which is behind the portable, and over there is a group of my guy friends. I'm gonna call one of them Soccer Boy, Gavin, Hair Dye, because this guy had dyed hair, and maybe one other guy, I think Ginger. And so we all run over there. And La Poo Poo's like, what? I thought you were on our side. And so I go over to her. I grab her by the shoulders like this. I pull her and I sweep her leg and I throw her to the ground. And she starts crying. And so I'm like, no, don't cry. It's just a game. And then everybody runs. And I'm like, La Poo Poo, it's just a game. I'm sorry. It's just a game. And then eventually all of the lunchtime monitors were like,
what are you kids doing? Why would you do this?
And we all got sent inside from recess early. And Afton proceeded to be possessed by Charlie until the day we graduated. Anyways, that's my 5th grade story. I hope you enjoyed it, because I really enjoyed telling it. I love recounting stuff like this. I had a wild time in elementary school, so let me know if you want to hear more silly little stories about that, because I would love to tell them. Thanks for watching if you stuck around. My TikTok is in my YouTube bio if you want to follow that. And if you like the video, subscribe. And also, as I said earlier, I'm trying to figure out what to call my subscribers. So if you have any ideas at all, I really like the way that Danny Gonzalez calls his fan base Greg. So I was like, maybe I should find a funny little name for people who like my content. And so if you have any ideas, drop them in the comments. I'll check them out. And thank you for sticking around. Love you to death. Love you so much. I'm gonna go cry over vocal history and biology while I study. Peace out!